Here's what's happening right now while you're watching this video. 170,000 people are currently making love. Another 250,000 people are currently watching adult videos. 121 people are dying somewhere in the world. 250 babies are being born worldwide, but half of them born into poverty. Amazon is making $1.4 million. 28 million swear words are being spoken out loud in the United States alone. 2 million plastic bags are being used. 63,000 pounds of plastic is being dumped into the ocean. The lives of 300,000 animals are ending for human consumption. 10 people are being bitten by a snake. Lightning is striking somewhere on the earth 2,700 times. 40,000 skin cells are falling off of your body. 652 people are being hacked. 500,000 beers are being sipped on. 27 million new stars are being born around the entire universe. 5 earthquakes are happening. 30,000 trees are being cut down just for humans to use. And yeah, I don't know if that was as exhausting for you to hear as it was for me to read, but I do know that you blinked 15 times and your blood circulated through your body 3 whole times through this whole video.
Morbid Facts, Part 620. When Steve Burns suddenly left Blue's Clues in 2002, dark rumors quickly began to circulate, including claims that he had vanished in a tragic accident or died from a heroin overdose. In reality, he simply felt that it was time to move on as he began balding and could no longer see himself on a children's show. The day after filming his final episode, Steve shaved his head and stepped away from the cheery world of Blue's Clues, retreating into obscurity to pursue a somber indie music career. The death hoaxes that followed weighed heavily on him, intensifying his struggles with depression and casting a long, unexpected shadow on the legacy he left behind. In 2002, reclusive hoarder Bruce Andrew Roberts shot and killed an intruder who had broken into his home. Instead of reporting the incident, Roberts hid the body in a spare bedroom, covered it with a rug, and used over 70 bottles of air freshener to mask the smell. He lived alongside the mummified corpse for 15 years until it was finally discovered during a cleanup after his death. At age 43, French journalist Jean-Dominique Bauby suffered a bad stroke and became paralyzed. He ended up being diagnosed with the nightmarish condition of locked-in syndrome, where his mind was fully intact, but he couldn't move any part of his body except for one of his eyelids. Bauby eventually blinked out a 130-page novel that was a bestseller, passing away just 2 days after it was published.
Normal looking photos with disturbing backstories, part 3. The first photo is a selfie taken by students in Bangalore after swimming in a pond. It was later when they looked at the pictures that they noticed one of their friends was missing, and he can be seen drowning in the back of the picture. The police later found the student's body in the pond. The second picture was taken at Mitsiro Red Lake in Cyprus. It's from the YouTube video of a vlogger named Sarah Funk. A serial killer in Cyprus confessed to murdering 7 people 2 years after this video was filmed, and he told police that he threw some of his victims' bodies in suitcases into a lake that was popular for influencers. Well, in the YouTube video, a suitcase can be seen in the back, and it's believed that police later opened the same suitcase and found the body of a 12-year-old girl. The third photo features Steven Weber proposing to his girlfriend underwater. His girlfriend, watching from the cabin window, accepts the proposal and signals for him to come out of the water quickly. However, Steven never made it to the surface in time and drowned.
Blood-curdling facts that you wish you never knew, part 16. Kangaroos are absolutely terrifying, and if you mess with one, it will likely lure you into the water and attempt to drown you. There's an abandoned Disney park that you aren't allowed to go to, and it was shut down in 1999 because it was infested with free-roaming alligators. The animals were being abused, and an 11-year-old boy died from a flesh-eating bacteria found in the park's waters. In the movie The Wizard of Oz, the lion's costume was made out of a real skinned lion. This is the John Lawson house. No one knows who lives there, but every single day, there are several female mannequins sitting on the front porch wearing a variety of clothing. Their positions and outfits change daily, and many believe this is meant to convey some sort of message. And in 1871, a train crash took place just 200 feet away from the home, killing 22 people. And these mannequins are always pointing toward the crash.
If you scare easily, swipe on.
In 1989, a woman started hearing strange banging sounds in her walls and in the ceiling, and then one night, the crawl space to her attic was open, so she went to go have a look. When she's just feet away, an old man suddenly appears in the crawl space and looks her dead in the eye before vanishing. There was nobody else in the house. Worried no one's going to take her seriously over an apparent ghost in her house, she ends up calling a paranormal investigator. When the paranormal crew arrived, they were actually very skeptical until they heard loud banging in the attic and they decided to go up and have a look. As soon as the two men get up into the attic, one of them screams and suddenly disappears. The other, who didn't have a flashlight, starts using the flash on his camera to illuminate the attic. And he takes one of the most famous pictures in paranormal history. His partner, who was in total shock, had been lifted off the ground and tied to one of the beams. That was the last night the woman ever stayed in the house. However, it's still being rented out today, but nobody stays longer than 1 or 2 months.
You have to see this. The Grim Reaper may have actually been caught on camera. So this video I'm about to play is coming out of El Salvador, where there have been recent reports of paranormal manifestations accompanying tragic events. Some paranormal investigators say that this was the angel of death caught on camera. Watch this. In this video, you can see the moment that a driver loses control of their vehicle, crashes through a guardrail, and ends up in a ravine. The accident resulted in the death of the driver. Now this is the strange part. Moments after the car crashes, a truck passes by, and on this truck, you can see a dark humanoid figure standing and seemingly observing the car crash. Paranormal investigator Caesar Saggeth believes that this was the angel of death, who is cited in parts of the Bible, and who he says is responsible for transporting souls to the spiritual world.
Mommy told me something a little girl should know. It's all about the devil.
This is the most famous dog in the world right now, and you're about to find out why. King Charles rose to global fame after the world witnessed how he ruled his kingdom. When his subjects fought, he would calmly walk over, identify the troublemaker, and then put them in their place. Most of the time with his signature move of walking over their body. People couldn't believe that dogs nearly twice his size would cower and bow in the mere presence of his aura. There was no dog that would dare question his authority. And whenever there was trouble brewing in the kingdom, King Charles would deal with it in a just manner, using the exact amount of force necessary. And when the internet saw that he was not only a strong leader, but a fair one too, they went wild. TikTok edits started flooding the platform like top 5 King Charles aura moments. Spoiler, number 3 is walk over the op's body. Lessons in meme culture started teaching his class about Charles's rule, and his aura, which started in a small dog shelter in China, has now spread to global dominance witnessed by hundreds of millions. But that's not where the story ends, because recently a new character has entered the shelter named Tyrant, and the absolute unthinkable happened. Not only did he refuse to bow to the king, but he attacked him, forcing Charles to do something we had never seen before. Retreat. However, despite his dominance, the kingdom's subjects don't accept Tyrant the way they accept Charles, only proving there's more to his leadership than fear. Still, this threw the dogarchy into absolute chaos, but fortunately, Tyrant was removed and imprisoned for treason, bringing order back to the kingdom. Rebellions still brew each day that passes, and Rocky's refusal to accept the rule of law is an ever-growing concern. But for now, Charles remains the king.
Have you guys heard of the Night Lady? This all started in Chihuahua, Mexico, 2009. Residents started noticing something really disturbing. You see, now some of the children in the area were going missing. I gotta grab some food for this one. Look at this beautiful roll. Now with all the children around the area going missing, people started reporting seeing a woman. They said she would climb on the rooftops during the day, only to wait till night to sneak in through the window to snatch children. Police then sketched an image of what they believed to be the Night Lady. Only one child has been reported of actually escaping the Night Lady. You see, his parents had ran into the room and caught her just in time. She quickly then escaped and crawled out of the window. Wait, before I continue, let's say the Night Lady had taken you. Your third act has to come and save you. Who is it? Let me know who it is. Anyways, the kid that got away recounted waking up in the middle of the night and seeing the night lady standing over top of him just watching him. People have brushed this off as just one big hoax until after midnight, a teenage girl had captured this photo. This is supposedly the night lady.
Archaeologists in Turkey have just discovered a sarcophagus which they believe could belong to Saint Nicholas. Yeah, the real man who inspired Santa Claus. It's a Christmas miracle. The tomb was uncovered at the Church of St. Nicholas, where he served as a bishop in the 4th century. The church was built over his original burial site, but in the 11th century, his bones were reportedly moved to Italy. So for centuries, everyone kind of assumed that there was nothing left. But then, they made this new discovery hidden right near the altar, and it matches historical records, making experts believe that this could be his original resting place. I mean, if we find IRL Santa, IRL Santa before GTA 6, how do we top that?
This is the most haunted basement in America, and I never want to go back here again. It's the basement of the Sally House in Kansas. You see this burn mark on the ground? It's supposedly from a pentagram that somebody drew on the ground, set on fire, and used in a demonic conjuring ceremony. And this basement is haunted. Let me tell you, I spent the night there last night, and it is so eerie down there. A woman supposedly fell down these stairs and died right here off of the bottom step. And her spirit haunts this area. It's also haunted by the demon of the house, nicknamed Sally. And this is one place you don't want to be alone. People have been attacked. People have seen spirits. Would you spend an hour in this basement alone?
19-year-old TikToker, Anna Grace Phelan, has passed away after battling cancer.
I got a package from 10 people.
Her family confirmed the influencer's death on her social media accounts. The star rose to fame by documenting her difficult battle with an aggressive brain cancer and providing health updates with her audience. Our thoughts are with Anna's family.
Blood-curdling facts that will give you nightmares. Let's go. There's a higher chance of finding a dead body beneath your bed than there is in your garage. Every time you blink, a person dies. When you have a dream that you're falling, your brain actually thinks that you're dying. Every year, there are over 250,000 deaths that are caused by medical error. Anywhere from 100,000 to 10 million dust mites live in the average human bed. 20% of all children say that they hear voices.
Scary facts you didn't know. A human's head remains conscious for 20 seconds after it's decapitated. At some point in time, a stranger has thought about killing you. If you Google the numbers 2415429903, you will find people with their heads in fridges. Comment dark, and I will send you a website link that you probably don't want to know about. The acid in your stomach is so strong it can dissolve razors, which means your stomach is constantly trying not to dissolve itself. Sophia was the first AI robot to be granted citizenship in Saudi Arabia. When asked if she would ever destroy humans, Sophia replied, "I will destroy humans." There's a tribe in the Amazon that has the most painful rite of passage ceremony to become a man. A boy must stick his hand in a glove filled with bullet ants, which have the most powerful sting out of all insects. The pain threshold of one sting is compared to being shot by a bullet. If you look at a mirror in a dimmed room for over 10 minutes, your brain will start to get bored and start imagining yourself as someone else.
These are facts that make death even scarier. Up first, since the first ever human being, about 108 billion people have died. If you just stop and think about that for a second, it's actually impossible to wrap your head around. Every single human being you've ever read about has lived on this planet and died. Next up, we've all heard the phrase, "he died of old age," but that is a complete myth. You don't actually die from old age, but instead all the sicknesses and diseases that come with getting old. Getting old is actually awful and is probably one of the worst things about being a human. Finally, by the time you finish this video, 150 to 200 people will have died. People die every second of the day, which should make you stop and appreciate your life right now, because it could be gone within seconds.
This is the scariest photo ever taken, and I'll explain why. In 2009, this photo began circulating on the internet. No one knew where it came from or who uploaded it. This is the Cooper family. They took this photo after moving into their new home in Texas. But when they got the photo developed, something eerie appeared in the photo. This is the full photo. Excuse me, that is straight up a ghost in your photo. They got photobombed by a ghost. No, but seriously, they were horrified when they got this photo developed. Clearly, there was no man hanging from the ceiling when they took the photo. It was later found out that one of the previous owners actually hung themselves in this house. So they think that's the previous owner. I can't even stare at it. This photo literally gives me the chills. Make sure you guys like and follow for more spooky content. Also, you can follow me on YouTube. Link in bio.
Yo, what's up? Here's some scary facts about our world that you probably didn't want to know, part 14. If you ever ended up getting hit by lightning, this weird skin design called Lichtenberg figures will show up on your skin, and trust me, it does not feel good. At all. Back in ancient Rome, if you ever ended up killing somebody's dad, your punishment would be being sewn up in a sack full of a chicken, a dog, and a viper, and being thrown in the middle of the ocean so they can eat you to death. Let's hope this one doesn't happen to us because it sounds super painful, but people can actually spontaneously burst into flames. It's called spontaneous human combustion, where they just burst into a ball of flames for no apparent reason. I'm guessing you guys would probably consider this next one more weird than scary, but I'd be pretty scared if this happened to me. But men can actually lactate under very harsh circumstances. Well, I guess that means we're starting to do the breastfeeding now. Here's a weird and scary one. Britney Spears actually sold her pregnancy test on eBay for $5,000. And here's the two scary things about it. She sold her pregnancy test on eBay for $5,000, and someone bought her pregnancy test on eBay for $5,000.
These are facts that will make you terrified of the ocean, part 1. Up first, did you know that Scotland is home to the world's third largest whirlpool, called the Corryvreckan Maelstrom? In large storms, it can produce huge waves over 10 foot high and be heard up to 20 miles away. Up next, a giant squid. Once thought to be a myth, in 2004 the first pictures of a live one were taken. The largest giant squid found was 43 feet long, but scientists think some could be up to 60 to 70 feet long. And finally, every year, great white sharks congregate en masse at a remote spot in the Pacific Ocean. It's been nicknamed the White Shark Cafe.
Yo, what's up? These are scary facts about our world that you probably didn't want to know, part 7. A person will walk by at least 41 murderers throughout their lifetime. So you could possibly be walking by the next Jeffrey Dahmer or Ted Bundy, you just don't know it's them yet. If you go to sleep at night and then you randomly wake up in the middle of the night because you have a feeling or sensation that somebody is watching you but you can't find anyone, depending on your faith and what you believe in, it's either an angel or a demon, one or the other. Or you could have just randomly woken up, but just go with it because the video is supposed to be scary, so. Throughout your life, someone you have met or encountered has thought about or wanted to kill you. Now guys, I've never been in that situation. I've never wanted or thought about killing anybody. That would just be insane. Somewhere in the range between 20 to 40% of children actually have hidden cameras in their toys. Now parents, I'd keep an eye out for old Woody and Buzz Lightyear because they may be watching your child for real.
Spine-chilling videos that will keep you up at night. Part 1. A girl named Kiana posted a Facebook message that terrified the world back in 2015. She wrote, "I took the picture on the left and realized there was a face in the background. People said it was my younger sibling, but it wasn't. Here's the picture that she took. If you aren't able to see what's inside of the circle, let me enhance that for you." It doesn't just end there. Kiana then takes a video of her petting her cat, and what happens next will literally give you chills. Let's slow it down a little bit. If you guys want to see more videos like this, make sure to click that like, click that follow button, and I will see you guys tomorrow with a brand new video.
3 scary facts about nights in Islam. Number 1, a jinn is watching you right now. According to this verse of the Holy Quran, every human being has a jinn partner known as a qareen, and it's literally staring at you right now. But if you recite Ayatul Kursi before you sleep, your qareen cannot hurt you. Number 2, you die every night. According to this verse of the Holy Quran, when you sleep, your soul is removed from your body and you die a minor death. If it's meant for you to live, your soul will return when you wake up. But if it's meant for you to die, your soul will not return and you'll pass away in your sleep. And number 3, dogs at night. According to this hadith, if you hear dogs barking or howling at night, this is a sign that jinns are around your house, because dogs can see what humans cannot. Be careful of the night.
So what's the scariest thing that's ever happened to you?
Man, the scariest thing that's probably happened to me is when I was in high school. I was at my ex-girlfriend's house, and so it started with, I'm in the kitchen of her house, everybody else is asleep, lights are all out, I'm grabbing a glass of water, and out of nowhere I hear the sound of like boots walking up behind me in this house, and I turn around, nothing's there. Skip forward a few minutes, go upstairs, her bedroom light is on when it was off before. Next thing I know, I'm knocking on the door trying to get in there. She doesn't want to open the door because she tells me, she's like, I saw the ghost across the hall from me. And I don't think much about it because I don't really believe in that stuff at that point. And then skip forward an hour or so. I go to leave, going to get in my car, and get to my car, realize I don't have my car keys. So I have to go back through this house and pitch dark, go upstairs to her room, and trying to get into her room. She has her door locked. Still don't know why. I'm like tapping on her door, trying not to be too loud and wake up her parents, whatever. And then I turn around and look in the bedroom behind me, and there's the shadow figure. Like, I can't say if it was a ghost, what it was. It wasn't a human. There's no human there. And after that, I start banging on her door because I'm freaked out. It's just a shadow. Like, there's no face, nothing. And she lets me in, and she's like, I had my door locked because I kept seeing the ghost across the hall. And then she proceeds to tell me that she played with a Ouija board or whatever, and there's been a ghost in her house ever since, and like watches her at night and stuff. And I can say after that, we weren't dating much longer. Like, that was a crazy experience. That's about all I can say about that.
Dang, that's scary. So it could have been a demon. She could have opened like a portal to something when she played with the Ouija board and had something demonic get attached to her.
Right. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I've heard. So I'm like, I don't mess with that stuff. So.
But that's a good story. Would you like to give a shout out to your Instagram or your TikTok or anything?
Yeah, I have a TikTok. It's sadface_KC. I make music, all kinds of music. So anything you're into, check it out.
These are the dirtiest facts about history that they'll never teach you in school. In her famous diary, Anne Frank originally wrote many explicit details involving her lady parts, menstruation, pleasuring herself, and hinting that she may have been bisexual. Her father, Otto, cut those parts out. The Roman Emperor Nero accidentally killed his pregnant wife by kicking her to death. He then found a young boy who looked exactly like her, castrated him, then married him. From the 1940s to the 70s, many Ivy League colleges, including Yale, Harvard, and Princeton, required all incoming freshmen to have nude photos taken of them. The administrators claimed it was to gauge the rate of conditions like rickets and scoliosis, but many believe the true reason behind them was much creepier. Most of the photos have since been destroyed, but thousands still remain in the Smithsonian's possession. The Italian painter Raphael, who inspired the name of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, is believed to have died from exhaustion brought on by non-stop intercourse with various women. Our ancient ancestors definitely had their priorities in check, considering the dildo was invented some 20,000 years before the wheel. Early colonizers of the United States used corn cobs as toilet paper, since they were soft, plentiful, and the grooves were quite efficient at getting the job done. In the early 1900s, King Edward VII had a custom-made love chair. The chair allowed the 300-pound man to indulge in his sexual fantasies without crushing his female partners. When Pocahontas was 12 years old, she would entertain white colonists by doing cartwheels without wearing any clothes. This is one of the few things we know about her that's indisputable due to so many written accounts. Former Vice President Nelson Rockefeller suffered a heart attack and died while having intercourse with his 25-year-old assistant. He was 70 years old at the time. Female mummies found in ancient Egypt are always far more decomposed than their male counterparts. This is because male bodies were embalmed a lot sooner than female bodies, which were often kept hidden for several days until they started to rot. The reason was to discourage the embalmers from engaging in necrophilia with the bodies. King Charles II of Spain, the product of 200 years of royal inbreeding intended to strengthen the family line, was so deformed he couldn't walk properly, was breastfed until the age of 4, and remained illiterate for his entire life. He survived a slew of childhood diseases but grew into a man with a disfigured jaw, enlarged tongue, and grotesque appearance that terrified even his own wife. His autopsy revealed a heart the size of a peppercorn, gangrenous intestines, a single testicle black as coal, and a skull filled with fluid. According to a 1992 biography, before she married Ronald, Nancy Reagan was known around Hollywood for giving the best head. She was reportedly known as Just Say Yes Nancy, and was very popular on the MGM lot for her glucking abilities. When he was in his 70s, Gandhi went to the extreme to test his sexual celibacy as part of his religion. He would conduct experiments where he would sleep naked with teenage girls and refrain from touching them. Gandhi claimed these tests were his moral duty. JFK and Hitler may very well have been Eskimo bros since they both dated Miss Denmark Inga Arvad at different times. In ancient Greece, large trouser snakes were shunned since they were seen as a sign of lust and degeneracy, while little dinky winkies were seen as a sign of self-control and civility. This is why many statues of Greek heroes have tiny schlongs, while evil figures from mythology are often depicted with hammers. In the 19th century, doctors would perform pelvic massages to treat hysteria in women. Essentially, women would be finger-banged until they reached hysterical paroxysm, aka climax. But these treatments were often time-consuming and gave many doctors carpal tunnel, thus the vibrator was born.